right?
Correct.
I feared that my son would be separated from the other children, right? And then that would really do something in him. So it was almost like, as a parent, you feared that the label is going to do more harm than good. And what you're basically saying is we have to rethink that.
Yeah.
Right?
But I think we have to not look at the label as a bad thing.
Right.
That's
And
where
I
the
did.
issue is at. And I think that
did.
we look at it as if it's a bad thing and there's something wrong with my child, as opposed to saying, hey, we know what his condition is or his issue is.
Right.
Let's fix it. It doesn't make him a bad thing. It makes him special.
Special.
You're a little special. You're different from everybody else.
And another thing you were saying is, now this is how I can support him.
Right.
That was just like so decent to me, because we'll leave it as the kid will continue to flounder in school. Oh,
he'll keep getting in trouble.
Get him a tutor, but what if it could really be something and I'm not helping him to manage, or to organize, or to...
And kids grow, I think the piece that sometimes we miss too, and this is with kids of any walk, they grow up.
Right. Yeah.
So if you don't catch it, and I know early prevention, is key in any situation.
Exactly.
Or catching it early, I should say, not just prevention, but addressing it, identifying it early really helps. So it's good that we're having these conversations, because again, this helps the parent who may be right now thinking like, you know what, maybe I thought my child was bored in school. You know how they'll say that.
Exactly.
All the kids just bored,
shy,
bad,
bad.
bad.
And we do
those are the
label them.
labels that we're gonna label them anyway.
And that's what I was saying. You look at a child with autism in a regular classroom, and they may do something like be the class clown because they're not grasping onto what's going on in the classroom. So they try to deviate and take the attention off of them not understanding or just being socially uncomfortable. So they become the class clown, right? And then you're doing more harm than you're doing good. Also, I want people to know it's nothing wrong with wanting your kids to be separated from another child. Because what's going to ultimately happen, you're going to have your child around someone who they think in their mind is normal compared to their normal, right?
True.
And what's going to happen is their confidence is going to diminish. They're going to feel different. And they're going to be told that they're different.
Right, so then that's
it'll be
creating the
separation. And it's creating an ugly separation because now you have someone who doesn't understand. Because adults do it, right?
Exactly.
Doesn't understand what's going on with their child, so they're looking at them like, "What the heck is wrong?"
And
with
they'll
him?
make a difference.
They'll make them
a difference in
Shamica,
that.
you better, you know what?
And then you're trying to pick up the pieces.
But you know what? So that makes me think of
get into this conversation.
This is a good conversation. We don't even have enough time.
Right? We need part 1, part 2,
might have
part
to do
3.
part
It's a
2.
part
We're
one.
gonna
Back to y'all.
Might have to do part 2.
But one question that I have, you mentioned other children, right? So in school and in different, but as a parent with other children, how to, did they have to learn to interact differently? How did you make sure that they were,
and that he doesn't feel separated
right
from
amongst
the other kids?
like y'all all getting yelled at, but I just may
Everybody
not.
get yelled at.
That-
You might just get yelled at a different tone.
Yeah,
That's the difference. I didn't create separation in the home.
That's what I'm talking about.
I will sometimes pull him in the room and say, I didn't mean to yell at you like that, and retract. But I try not to, if everybody's getting yelled at, then everybody's getting yelled at.
Right.
I don't care who it is.
and I may circle back.
Right. Because I didn't want one child to think that the other one was being talked to or treated differently because...
Look at that difference.
Yeah, the special treatment.
Right.
Why he always don't have to.
Because then you create resentment.
Right.
Yeah.
So when they got older, the age that they are now, my son, he actually stays with his grandmom. And at first, let me tell you guys
How old is he?
He's 18 now.
Okay.
On his way to college. He's graduating, and I'm so proud of him. The other day, I was on my way to work, and I was like crying so bad I couldn't even get out the car to
ahead,
walk into the school because I'm just crying. 'cause I'm
Village.
like,
Listen,
I got 2, and I'm like,
I got 1.
And I text him something, and he probably was like, "What the heck does my mom mean?" I text him a face like mine's. So I called him later on and I said, you want me to tell you why I text you a face like mine? And he's like, well, I said, because I want you to be the poster person for other kids within our community, especially to look at you and be like, well, he has a face like mine.
That's
He's
beautiful.
not so different.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. He looks like me.
Yeah.
Oh.
So,
so tell us about that initiative. Like, let's get into
Let's talk
the
about
initiatives and what's coming and what's
the awareness.
of this?
My goals and my ultimate dream will be to start a nonprofit.
Okay.
I want it to be called A Face Like Mine eventually.
I love that.
I want my son to create. He can draw his behind off. Yes. And sometimes he gets discouraged just in direction, if nothing else, because he has confidence. And when I tell you amazing, pays attention to detail, will draw the mole on your nose, everything, okay?
Wow. I didn't even know I had that.
Right.
So I kind of just, right now, I'm working on life skills, right? Okay. Because he's transitioning out of high school into college.
Yeah.
Right? And just for him becoming his own self. So my ultimate goal will be to create this nonprofit called A Face Like Mine, where parents, younger parents like me, just have someone that can help them, even if they don't have time. Because a lot of the problem is we don't have time, especially if you're a single parent. You're working more than you're doing anything. So when you get home, you're too tired.
The research, right? To advocate.
Tired.
The one lady said 16 years she was fighting. She said fighting.
Philadelphia is very backwards. They'll give someone that they'll give someone help for a drug addiction or something faster than they'll give somebody help that needs, for autism.
Right.
You have to. They take you through the ringer. Like when I tell you, I've been in so many different therapy offices and doctors, psychologists, psychiatrists, and everything because they took me through the ringer, and I was getting frustrated, and I was like, I give up. I don't have time for it. Whatever. So you will get to that point. So my job will be to just kind of coach these parents and let them know and be an advocate and because I have the life experience, just to let them know, okay, you need help, your son needs help at school, I'll help you formulate a letter. So your child can at least get this help.
Right. You a template. Put that 30 days on there.
You got 30 days.
I'm ready to write a letter tomorrow. 30 days.
Just somebody.
30 days.
30 days to do something.
That's
they
right.
Like, man, what do you want?
Get it moving. When your son's between the ages of 16 and 18, you feel like your son should be able to take $200 and go to the store and create a list. Your son may not know how to do that. Here I am. I'll sit down with him. I'll go through step by step. I'll help him get organized. I'll help him get a schedule and just be of support. Because one thing I noticed that I could not find was a support group for myself. Wow. The ones I did find, I kind of needed to pay to take my son to the support group.
Right.
Or it just didn't work for me. So it discouraged me from wanting to even just be around. And then I didn't have any family or friends that really been through what I've been through to really tell me this is what you do, this is what this is what that.
This is that. This is how you handle it.
Right. Okay.
I mean, but the good thing is that you're able to do that for somebody else.
Right. And that's what I've been doing.
And you can give other people the tools, parents, or even people that can support you in this initiative that you have. You can give them the tools to be able to help other people as you bring them on board, or people that come to see you for their services. And I think that's going to be amazing.
Right. Yeah. And even with the nights, because you will have many nights where you're just sobbing and crying, to have an ear to listen to say, I understand, I've been here, this is what you should do.
Right. Try this.
Right.
Have you tried? Yeah.
Right. And then I want my son I want him to be the face for it. I want him to be the brands of it. I want him to do everything he needs to do and just be comfortable with who he is. Because he still have moments where he's not accepting it because he thinks that he's being looked at as different. Yeah. Asperger's is a high function on a spectrum of autism. It's like 3 different main categories of autism. One is just autistic disorder, which is like severely autistic child. Then it's Asperger's, which is a little bit more milder and can be easily missed. And it's one called pervasive development disorder. It's like atypical autism. Okay. I think that's mainly more so seen in like as you get older in adults.
Ah, really?
But I have to do more research on it.
That's okay.
That's interesting.
Be here for it.
Yeah, that's good to know.
Just getting kids to own who they are. And parents to be comfortable to say, hey, my son has it. And
let's go.
Right, exactly.
How can I help my son now?
So, quickly, are you familiar with The Good Doctor? That's out?
So, I am. Guess who put me onto it? My daughter. my daughter will always say, you need to watch Good Doctor, because when she found out my son was diagnosed with it, she got obsessed with the show. So I watched it a couple times, and I haven't really came around to completely watching it because I tear up so bad every time. Not in a bad way, just watching how
In awe.
right amazing this guy is. And then I'm like, oh my goodness, like my son is this is my son, like
So, for people who haven't seen it, The Good Doctor is a show about this doctor who is autistic. And so that's the whole journey of it, but it's showing how he is highly functional.
And he has Asperger's.
And he has
Asperger's.
The person here is speaking about too. She's highly functional with an incident that she did not adapt to. She doesn't adapt well to change, and she needs the strict schedule and a lot. But she's
Who's that? Is that
the same person?
Okay. So,
We're very proud.
Thanks, everyone.
what's up, y'all? What's up, man?
Hey, everybody.
Hold on.
Your goddaughter said, she said good luck.
Oh, thank you.
Aw.
On the third live.
Okay.
Okay, listen.
Hey, we take it.
We take it. Go ahead, son. We get some heart. What we get?
Yeah,
Some
I
hearts.
heard Dex still said
My husband.
everybody's getting yelled at, even the cat.
We gonna have to have him on the show.
He's right.
I'm with him though.
you.
I'm with him.
Everybody get your
Organized.
He
He be like, wait, I ain't even do that.
He's right.
I'm done.
Over there like,
Look at that, like, I'm just trying to eat my food and slick on my
I'm trying to get my
okay?
kitty litter on.
I'm
Y'all
not
get
trying to be in this
boobies.
foolishness.
I like the consistency though.
Yeah.
You know, like, so nobody.
That's what I said.
Nobody.
Everybody
Even the
gets
cat.
shit. Everybody.
And when he tells his
Line 'em up.
story,
Everybody
when
get
he
it.
tells the story,
The
he can
cat
say that.
and the kids. Everybody line it up.
All the
It's funny.
does.
It's funny because they, you know, my oldest now, he laughs at me. I'll hear him downstairs. You see how mommy came in?
Right.
And I'm like,
you a joke.
rolling
You
my
funny.
eyes like,
right?
this shit ain't funny.
Right. All right, we laughing. Oh, we laughing.
Uh-huh.
we laughing
So
now.
what is some of the merchandise? Because I know he is a phenomenal artist,
Correct.
and you were telling me maybe about a T-shirt that we
Yes,
can look
we
forward
wanna
to.
know.
Like,
Yeah.
what
We
is
wanna know.
coming?
Coming.
We want
So,
goodies.
I'm
The next
coming.
time she come.
What you gonna bring us?
So he's finishing up this printing design class he's taking at the Art Institute on Sunday. So when he's done, I have ideas in my head, like far as creating autistic shirts for children and adults, and it'll be called A Face Like Mine, and it'll be different skin tones, different colors, just to show that, you know, autism is not just one face, one color, one gender. Autism can be any of us. You know what I'm saying?
Anything, anybody.
So
I visually like see it.
Yeah, see
Yeah.
it.
Too,
Yeah.
it is so
That's
bad.
like mine.
I
I see it as a
I'm like,
commercial.
wait a minute.
First of all,
Like,
I see it as
it.
like, okay, so did everybody see the Serena Williams Nike commercial about they call you women, they call you crazy, but crazy is let them call you crazy.
Right,
but, like I
right.
see this as a commercial.
Oh,
Like,
that
our
was phenomenal.
I'm already
international.
sitting up here like I can't wait till we attend her
Yes,
event.
and we can even get shy to do my hubby to do the commercial.
Yeah,
hello, he ready.
I'm with
When he
it.
ready.
With it.
We already got you on commercial.
When he ready.
I'm
Pop-up
with it.
shop, and then.
We don't book it. We all plan stuff right here.
But
I'm
let me
like,
just say, you saw her first.
Right.
with us.
On
On that.
I'm on here, right?
She over here creating it,
Yes.
living it, and leaving it.
That's right. And honestly, the shirt designs that I have is really cool. Like, it'll be kids with tiaras on, crowns on, you know, little princesses and
Love it.
prints.
Yeah,
so
I love
it's
it.
going to be very, how can I put this? It's going to be very detailed and
gonna be
Of
amazing.
course.
Inspirational.
Yeah.
inspirational. It's going to be everything, just like he's everything.
Just like him.
And,
Yeah.
you know, I have wonderful children. I don't want to just
Yeah, yeah,
Right.
say just him. Like,
Right.
all my
No.
kids are pretty dope.
Right. I know
Yeah.
that's right.
Yes.
That should be on a
And
T-shirt.
I-
Wait,
All my
my
kids
kids
are
are pretty dope. I got
All
you
my
on that
kids,
one.
uh-huh.
I can do that one for you. I
But
think that's right. All
It's
my
just
kids
his
are pretty
time
dope.
right now. He's the oldest. He's walking into manhood, and I want him to walk into manhood
Yes,
proudly
yes,
and
yes.
be who he is, and just be
Authentically.
comfortable with him having Asperger's and own it.
Speak to him.
Right.
Talk
Take
to
on
him.
it,
Yeah.
Son,
Tell him
own
again.
it.
By the
Own
time
it. Own
everybody's
it.
like,
I want want right. Everybody gonna want in there. No,
you know when the
can't go out and
kids
get it.
kids feel like, okay, wow, that's yeah.
Yeah.
It's
So
an
I
awesome
think
person.
what's awesome is, and again, we've had behind the scenes conversation, is just you putting yourself out there.
Yes.
You owning and taking ownership of it, and just being courageous enough